She didn't just reject quotas. She lit a match inside her own party. On live television,
Liberal Party's gender review, she says it's on the brink because the number of women in its ranks has hit a 30-year low. Now, I'm going to tell you, I happen to be sitting here with two of the greatest women in Australian political history, Pauline Hanson and Bronwyn Bishop, and that's a fact. We don't need more women in Parliament. We need women of the calibre of Pauline Hanson and Bronwyn Bishop. So forget all this other nonsense. But I want to ask you, Pauline, and I mean what I say, but speaking, are the Liberals just chasing down a rabbit hole here? What is going on? Why this constant obsession?
They're trying to appease the minority out there and push for this gender equality rubbish that's going on all the time. I don't have gender quotas in my party and I will not have it. It's the best person that applies for the position to be a candidate, and then I judge them also, especially the Senate positions, and see if they're quality and what they can bring to the Parliament and if they are actually up to the job. Susan Lee, to me, she's actually...
What's your take on this heated exchange? Who made the strongest point? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation below.
In the wrong party, let alone the leader of the Liberal Party. She should be with the Teals. She is not a conservative, her way of thinking, her policies. And as far as a strong leader, and Bronwyn knows this, that I have always thought that she should have been the first female Prime Minister of this country, and I still stand by that.
I agree wholeheartedly with you, and I was certainly there rooting for you to be Prime Minister back in the day, Bronwyn. So just tell me briefly, what's your advice to Susan Lee?
My first thing to say is give her a go. She's got there and she should be given a go. With regard to the Teals, and Pauline, I have to disagree with you. I would not insult Susan in that way. She does not belong with that lot. The point is this. The people we lost and are the real followers and strength behind the Teal women are people of the older generation, the baby boomers, who look at these women as almost like daughters. They are very much like the people, and I've said this before, who found a cause and have been nurtured by them. Money has come in as well to give them the opportunity. Now, I know that on polling booths, I was told, we used to vote for you, but now we're voting for her, when I'm campaigning for somebody else. And until such time as we realise and value the older people within our community, and write them off as not being determinant as who gets elected and who doesn't, we've got no hope of winning back the Teals.
There we go.
This exchange highlights a growing tension inside Australian politics, not just about gender representation, but about the deeper identity crisis facing major parties like the Liberal Party of Australia. At first glance, the discussion centers on gender quotas and the push for greater female representation in Parliament. But underneath that surface-level debate lies a much broader question. How should political parties balance merit, representation, and voter expectations in a rapidly changing political landscape? In this interview, Pauline Hanson takes a firm stance against gender quotas, framing them as unnecessary and even counterproductive. Her argument is rooted in a merit-based approach, the idea that positions should go to the most qualified individuals, regardless of gender. Supporters of this view often argue that quotas risk prioritizing identity over competence. However, critics see the issue very differently. They argue that without structural changes like quotas, systemic barriers can continue to limit opportunities for underrepresented groups. From this perspective, quotas are not about lowering standards, but about correcting long-standing imbalances within political institutions. This is not a debate unique to Australia. Across countries like United Kingdom, Canada, and parts of Europe, political parties have experimented with gender quotas or targets, with mixed results. Some have seen increased diversity in representation, while others continue to debate whether these measures address root causes or simply treat the symptoms. Another key moment in this exchange is the criticism directed at Susan Lee and the suggestion that ideological differences within the party are becoming harder to ignore. This points to a broader internal struggle, not just about gender policy, but about the future direction of conservative politics in Australia. At the same time, Bronwyn Bishop introduces a different angle, emphasizing the role of voter demographics, particularly older generations, in shaping political outcomes. Her comments highlight an often overlooked factor in modern politics: the influence of generational identity and how different age groups respond to messaging around representation and social change. What makes this conversation particularly significant is how it reflects a wider global pattern. Political parties are increasingly caught between competing pressures, maintaining traditional values while adapting to evolving societal expectations. For some voters, rapid change can feel disconnected from their priorities. For others, change is seen as long overdue. This tension is part of a broader shift in democratic systems, where trust in institutions is fluctuating and voter alignment is becoming less predictable. Debates like this one, whether about gender quotas, leadership, or party direction, are often symptoms of deeper structural changes rather than isolated disagreements. It's also worth noting how language is used throughout the exchange. Terms like gender equality or quotas can carry very different meanings depending on perspective. For some, they represent fairness and progress. For others, they signal unnecessary interference or political overreach. Understanding these differences is key to interpreting the debate more clearly. Ultimately, this discussion raises a fundamental question for voters. Should political representation focus purely on merit, or should it actively reflect the diversity of the society it serves? And is it possible to achieve both at the same time? As political dynamics continue to evolve in Australia, debates like this are likely to become even more prominent, not just within parties, but across the broader public conversation. What do you think? Are gender quotas a necessary step toward fair representation, or do they risk undermining merit-based systems? Share your thoughts in the comments below.